Eala thankful for Indian Wells run. Finally found my way to paradise. Eala took to social media to express her gratitude following her run at the Indian Wells Open. In a post on Thursday, Eala wrote, "Finally found my way to paradise." The Indian Wells tournament is widely known as Tennis Paradise because of its scenic setting in the Coachella Valley. "Thank you, Indian Wells, see you next year," she added. Eala began her campaign with a first round by advancing directly to the round of 64. She opened her tournament with a victory over Diana Yastremska before facing Coco Gauff in the round of 32. Gauff was forced to retire due to injury during the match, allowing Eala to advance to the round of 16. Her run ended in the fourth round after a loss to Linda Noskova. Eala now shifts her focus to the Miami Open next week as she continues the Sunshine Swing. At last year's Miami Open, the Filipina star delivered an impressive breakthrough performance, defeating Grand Slam champions Madison Keys, Yelena Ostapenko, and Iga Swiatek en route to the semifinals. Her campaign ended against Jessica Pegula, but the run propelled Eala into the WTA Top 100 and helped launch a historic 2025 season. Finally found my way to paradise. Eala's thankful journey through Indian Wells. In the world of professional tennis, victory is often measured by trophies, rankings, and statistics. But sometimes, the most meaningful victories are the ones that cannot be held in your hands. They are the moments when a player finally feels that years of sacrifice, doubt, and relentless work have led somewhere beautiful. For Eala, her run at Indian Wells Open felt exactly like that, a long-awaited arrival at paradise. When Eala said, "I finally found my way to paradise," she wasn't talking about palm trees or desert sunshine. She was talking about a feeling, one that every athlete spends years chasing but rarely reaches. It was the feeling that she belonged. A journey that began far from the desert. Eala's story did not begin in the grand stadiums of California. It began thousands of miles away in Manila, where a young girl first picked up a tennis racket with big dreams and little certainty. Growing up in a country where tennis is not the most dominant sport, Eala faced challenges that many players from traditional tennis nations never encounter. Facilities were limited, international competition required long travel, and the path to the global stage seemed distant. But the young Filipino star had something more powerful than resources: belief. Her family supported her passion, and soon she was competing in junior tournaments across Asia and beyond. As she developed her skills, her talent became impossible to ignore. Eventually, she joined the prestigious Rafael Nadal Academy, founded by tennis legend Rafael Nadal. For Eala, the academy was more than a training center, it was a gateway to the world. There she learned discipline, resilience, and the quiet confidence that separates dreamers from champions. The weight of expectations. As Eala rose through the junior ranks, she carried more than just her racket onto the court. She carried the hopes of a nation. The Philippines had not produced many tennis stars at the highest level, and fans were eager for someone who could break through the global stage. With every victory, the spotlight grew brighter. With every defeat, the questions became louder. Young athletes often struggle under such pressure, but Eala learned to embrace it. Instead of seeing expectations as a burden, she treated them as motivation. Every early morning practice, every exhausting training session, and every difficult match became part of a larger mission, not only to succeed for herself, but to inspire others who dared to dream from the same distant shores. Arriving at Indian Wells. The Indian Wells Open, held in the California desert, is often called the fifth Grand Slam. It attracts the world's best players and some of the sport's most passionate fans. For many athletes, simply qualifying for the tournament is an achievement. For Eala, it became something more. Walking through the gates of the Indian Wells Tennis Garden, she felt a mixture of excitement and nerves. The towering stadiums, the endless rows of courts, and the buzz of global competition created an atmosphere unlike anything she had experienced before. But somewhere inside that whirlwind of energy, something clicked. She felt ready. Playing with freedom. During her matches in Indian Wells, Eala displayed a new level of confidence. Her shots carried purpose, her movement showed determination, and her mindset radiated calm. Instead of playing cautiously against higher-ranked opponents, she played boldly. Her forehand found angles that pushed rivals off balance. Her backhand carried surprising depth. Most importantly, her mental strength kept her focused in difficult moments. Match after match, she proved that she was not just another young player trying to gain experience. She was a competitor ready to challenge the best. For fans watching from the stands and from home in the Philippines, every point felt electric. The meaning of paradise. When Eala described her Indian Wells experience as finding her way to paradise, the phrase resonated deeply with fans. Paradise, in her words, was not about perfection. It was about fulfillment. 4 years she had worked tirelessly, often far from home, training in unfamiliar environments and competing against the toughest opponents in the world. There were moments of doubt, injuries, and matches that ended in heartbreak. But Indian Wells reminded her why she began the journey. It reminded her of the joy of competition, the joy of improvement, the joy of standing on a court and knowing that every step forward had been earned. Paradise was not the destination. It was the realization that the journey had been worth it. Gratitude above all. One of the most striking aspects of Eala's reflections after the tournament was her gratitude. She thanked her coaches, her family, and the supporters who had followed her career from the beginning. She acknowledged the sacrifices made by those around her, the long travels, the countless hours of training, and the unwavering encouragement during difficult times. In modern sports, where success often comes with intense scrutiny, Eala's humility stood out. She recognized that no athlete reaches the top alone. Behind every victory is a team of people who believe in the dream even when the results have not yet arrived. Inspiring the next generation. Eala's run at Indian Wells also carried significance beyond her personal achievements. Across the Philippines and throughout Southeast Asia, young tennis players watched her matches with excitement. They saw someone who looked like them, came from a similar background, and dared to compete on the biggest stage in the sport. Representation matters in sports, and Eala's success is opening doors for future generations. Young athletes who once believed that international tennis was out of reach are now beginning to imagine their own journeys. Somewhere in a neighborhood court in Manila or Cebu, a young player might now pick up a racket and think, if Alex Eala can do it, maybe I can too.